Well, hi there, and welcome to the Randall Museum's exhibit Riding the Rails in beautiful San Francisco. My name is Marcus Wakowiak, and I brought you here because it is a space where I find great inspiration from the stories of millions of Americans who revolutionized the transportation industry here in America. This is one reason why I love museums, but let me tell you what else. Museums are fantastic spaces to learn. You can find any concept you want on the internet at any time of day, but in museums you find a social learning space where you create memories that you attach to concepts and facts that you will never forget. Museums are also excellent forums for discussion and discourse to build educated opinions on current important issues. And finally, museums offer this wow factor that you don't find anywhere else. When somebody in a museum discovers something that they had never learned before, they keep that with them for the rest of their lives. Museums have the ability to change the world for the better for these significant experiences that happen within their walls. But the definition of museums is changing. Museums historically have been storehouses of cultural collections that are often viewed from afar. But in more recent times, museums are very interactive and exhibits have been moved from being static to being immersive. Now, museums have also changed because of the economic recession of 2008. Since the market crash, museums have struggled to find correct funding, and this has led to the downfall of many smaller and even large institutions. But I believe that museums that are struggling can find their way back to success. To do so, I think the first thing that a museum should do is look at the general visitor experience from an outsider's point of view. How is the visitor interacting with the museum and what are they taking from their experience? Also, museums need to evaluate their mission and make sure the mission is appropriate to the institution and that they are effectively executing the mission. Museums should also discover the community's needs. That's why they're there. They're public service institutions, so you need to discover what your community needs as far as learning, as far as social experiences, and see how you can meet the needs. Museums need to use their funds efficiently. Funds are hard to come by, as even the market is starting to come back, but the funds need to be used in the most efficient means possible. Museums also need to find a network of support. Communication technology is amazing and you can connect to whomever you want. So museums really should try to find those that they can support and who can also support them. And finally, a museum that's struggling should create an achievable strategic plan that is appropriate. But sometimes there's some barriers to success. Now, one major barrier is that museum employees are stuck in traditional models, both of business and also of visitor engagement. Lots of museum employees don't recognize that nonprofit business is still business, and they can learn a lot from for-profit business practices. And finally, many museums who struggle have lost sight of their community. That is the most important thing, is to be connected to your community and make sure you're serving them well, because that's why museums exist. I believe my unique experiences in education can help in the task of revitalizing struggling museums. I began with a degree in astronomy, looking at the stars full of wonder, and I wanted to share my experiences with the rest of the world, and I found out that I could do so in museums. So I started working at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, a large, well-established, well-organized institution. When I decided that I wanted to go back to school, I came to San Francisco and attended a dual master's program. But most importantly, I got a job here at the Randall Museum, a very small institution. But this small institution is incredibly well connected with its community, and it's run by employees who are passionate about what they do and who communicate with each other in an excellent way. And finally, my education has taught me how nonprofit business needs to evolve along the ways of for-profit business in such a way that nonprofit business has to find a market. They need to have a product that is appropriate to their customers' needs. And finally, they need to have a successful business model where they efficiently use their funds to continue their business. So in that way, I believe that I can be an asset to your project, and I do hope to talk more about this.